they will not have died in vain. Did I tell you that a long time ago?
4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Right? When we first met on the campaign.
Yes.
When they said, oh, Trump's not going to win. You said Trump was going to win, and I said, and they will not have died in vain. Right? And that's true. I say it today with even more meaning. It was a big step.
That was a moving moment for the President of the United States, choosing a very public venue and means by which to get the nation's attention and those who might even be thinking about challenging him again to override his veto on this emergency measure that will protect him at getting more funding for a wall. Angel mom Sabine Durden, that was the woman he was talking to at that veto signing ceremony. Her son, Dominic Durden, 30 years young, was killed by an illegal immigrant with a truck while he was riding his motorcycle, and she was kind enough to stop by with us today. Sabine, very good to have you.
Good morning, Neil. It's an honor to be back with you.
I cannot fathom what you've been through since that tragic day, but the president is saying it's an emergency at the border because of what you went through, and that's why you were there, right?
Absolutely, and I brought the pen. I brought that famous pen that he signed the veto with. It's invigorating. It's like a shot of vitamin B to be back with the president. Know he's fighting for us, for the angel moms and dads, and for all Americans, so they won't know what this feels like, because for almost 7 years, it's 24/7, the pain never stops, and this fight gave me new life, and fighting for others not to know what this is about. And I'm so proud of our president.
Now, you know, Sabina, there are a number of people who said they feel for your loss, but that this wasn't the means by which the president should have forced this issue. For example, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer criticized the president, saying it's no surprise that the president holds the rule of law and our constitutional and minimal regard. He went on to say there is no emergency at the border. What did you think?
Oh, it absolutely is, because if you catch thousands at the border, and now they just walk over, throwing up their hands, claiming amnesty. If you have thousands of people constantly flooding our country, and we know they're not just coming here for a better life, they're draining our system, things that belong to American citizens, or like legal immigrants like myself. I had to stand in line. I had to pay. I had to go through the proper procedures to be here, to earn my citizenship. I didn't skip lines. My son didn't either. And it's just not fair. And for Schumer and those 12 traitors, that's what I call them, that went against our president, we remember you. Marco Rubio, I remember really way back when the presidential campaign was going on. He talked about the new Americans. I know what that was for. That was for illegal aliens, not Americans. So I kind of know their language now, and it's shameful that any of our elected officials, and I don't care what side they're on, are not fighting for Americans. It is an emergency. It's a catastrophe. It's horrible what's happening to Americans, and sadly, the mainstream media doesn't want us to speak about it. So I'm very grateful for you to give Dominic and myself a voice.
Now, having said that, you're talking about the mainstream media. Apparently, you made an effort to talk to CNN's Jim Acosta and interview yourself or a representative of the Angel Mom movement. What did he say?
Well, I called him out right after I got up, after the president left the podium in the Rose Garden, and I called him out on, first of all, calling them undocumented immigrants. They are illegal aliens by law. That's defined. It's not racist. And I called him out on always quoting that illegals commit less crimes than Americans. And I told him that we should have zero crime by illegal aliens. They shouldn't even be here. And my son's death was one too many. And he put on this Oscar-worthy performance, putting his hand on his heart and telling me how sorry he was for our loss and how CNN felt. And I called him out on not having us on. In 7 years, I've been on there twice. Some have never been on. And I told him I wasn't going to be his prop when he offered to stand behind him when he goes live and he will point to us. How disrespectful and just arrogant. And then when he called out that the president calls him fake news, I said, well, I have to agree with the president. He is. And he keeps proving that. So it was a beautiful moment that I still have to laugh about. And I gave him my business card, and glad I didn't hold my breath because he hasn't called yet or contacted me.
All right, we'll watch closely, Sabina. Thank you very, very much. Sabine Durden, an angel mom, lost her beautiful boy, all of 30 years old, at the hands of an illegal immigrant driving a truck. Shouldn't have been there, but he was. More to this.